Are you a psychedelic skeptic or are you psychedelically curious? Hey, this is Dr. Randall here with another one of my Friday videos on a beautiful day out here in my little hilltop that I am so grateful for. And I want to talk about psychedelics today because psychedelics are such a powerful tool for healing. And I think over the next 20 years, we are going to see so much more focus on plant medicines that do true healing, not just things that help us self-medicate, not just things that, such as SSRIs that help us barely manage symptoms, but actual healing. And the powerful thing about psychedelics, especially a large dose psychedelic journey, is it gets right to what you need to work on. There's no questioning it, there's no guesswork. The medicine tells you this is what you need to work on, and then the rest of the process is working on it, what we call integration. But if you're a skeptic, I don't know why, because first of all, these plants have been used since time immemorial. We find it in archaeological diggings, we find it in articles written or stories written back in the day. We know indigenous and native peoples have used these for community, for spiritual healing, for transformation. And so there's no question about that. And then even in the 1960s, there were thousands of papers published. There were international conferences. There were many therapists that used especially LSD as a psychedelic-assisted therapy. And it wasn't until the Prohibition in the 70s that all that changed and everything got shut down. And now in the last 2 decades or so, we're definitely seeing a resurgence in research, a change in philosophy, perhaps a change in scheduling, some soon, some later. And we are seeing from the research all these things that psychedelics help. Depression, treatment-resistant depression, anxiety, PTS, OCD, pain, addiction, cluster headaches and migraines, eating disorders. It's amazing. It's amazing what these plants can do, and I think it's going to revolutionize at least a part of medicine. Probably not all medicine, because Big Pharma will never let that go, but certainly a part of medicine. So if you're a skeptic, just do the research. Wow, there is just so much, whether the earlier research or the current research, on what's happening. There are more than 100 universities across the world that are doing research in psychedelics right now, and it's just amazing. And then there's microdosing. If you are a little scared of that big dose, the hallucinations and what might come up, start with microdosing. That's certainly the trendiest thing right now. And that's just typically a 1/10 dose of a full dose of a medicine. It's subperceptual. You will most likely barely feel it. If you feel it too much, then it's not really a microdose. And it's working behind the scenes. It's working to help with your neuroplasticity. It's working to help with anxiety, depression, all these things. And so if you're a little afraid of that big journey, start with microdosing and then work your way up to macrodosing, because a macrodosing is where the real healing is. And so I just encourage you, do your research. If you're a skeptic, definitely do your research. If you're curious, do your research. I have a lot of articles on my site. I have links to other articles that I have not written, but that I support, of course. And or just go to some of these universities that are doing the research and look at the studies and look at the results. The key with psychedelics are, in my mind, 3 things: preparation, dieta, clearing your mind, getting ready for it, understanding what these medicines do, and then intention on the day of the medicine, of that journey, even a microdose. What is your intention with this medicine? What do you hope to find out? What do you hope to see? What do you hope to discover? And then the biggest part in my mind is the after, the integration, working with community, working with coaches or therapists, and understanding how to incorporate this past trauma and what you learned into your whole life so you can have again, this integrated, complete life. All right. Dr. Randall, I'm wishing you a wonderful weekend. Please get out in nature. The fight insides, I'm sitting here smelling the fight insides is beautiful. I'm in a pine forest, so it's a lot of the what I call baked pine needles on the ground, and it's just wonderful. Calming, peaceful, reflective, mindful. All right, blah, 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 enough talking. Thank you. Research psychedelics, get out in nature, find your healing modality, join the healing revolution. Take care.